Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Babu Sunkara. Today we are going to discuss another case on Section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act. Simply to say, check bounce case. Here it was held that even though the name of the person stands first and the name of the company comes later, the court has to understand that the check was issued to the company and not to the person. Person is only in charge. So the trial court as well as the high court also erred in this topic. Therefore, the matter has to come to the Supreme Court. So, two judges bench, Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Justice Sundaresh, while disposing the SLP criminal appeal number 1105 by 2021 on 10th November of this year. And you can read the case as Bhupesh Rathod versus Daya Shankar Prasad Chaurasya and another. Right? So I can see the citation in Live Law 2021 SC 633. They clearly stated that even though the name of the person comes first, it will be understood that the check was given to the company. If you go through the details of the case, it will be better for you to appreciate. So here, Mr. Daya Shankar Prasad Chaurasya, he and another, they have taken a loan from Bell Marshall Telesystems Limited. Not personal loan, but they have done the work. They have issued some instruments for about 1.60 lakhs. And they have taken checks. So in order to encash the same on different times. No doubt these people have given 1.60 lakhs worth of property to them, Bell Marshall Telecom. At the same time, they have given some post-dated checks. And incidentally, the 4 or 5 checks they have been sent to their account branches for realization, but simply to say they were bounced. They were bounced because of insufficient funds. Later, they are given a notice to them. 15 days they waited, no response. All these procedure according to 138 N Act has been followed. Ultimately, since they have become defaulters, this Bhupesh Rathod on behalf of Bell Marshall Telesystems Limited, yes, he filed a case under Section 138 NA Act. And please remember, in this connection, he has submitted the affidavit given by the company making him as their legal representative, and also the decision, the board decision of the company to asking him to fight for the case. He has also filed the same. But the trial court disagreed. They disagreed, stating that who is the complainant in this case? So the complaint was filed by Mr. Bhupesh Rathod, and later his designation was given MD. Okay, now he is the MD of Bell Marshall Telesystems. So please remember, since it is personally in the name of Bhupesh Rathod, it cannot be a legally enforceable debt, because legally enforceable debt is to the Bell Marshall Telecom Limited, not to this person. So with this technical flaw, they have acquitted the accused. And this man, so this Bhupesh Rathod, MD of this one, he approached the High Court. High Court also followed suit. So because mainly they have found whether it is a legally enforceable debt or not according to 138 of any act. So when the check is in the name of the so-called company, and they have to file the case, no doubt they filed the case in the name of the general manager, but the board resolution, it doesn't bear the signatures of all the persons. This is the main flaw. High Court did not accept it. Ultimately, the matter came to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court held that it is only a technical fact, technical flaw, and also it is a copy. The resolution of the board is a copy. The copy need not be signed. If somebody attests that it is the bona fide copy, then it has to be accepted, is it not? So, basing on the very simple technical flaw, the case cannot be accused, cannot be acquitted. Because please remember, it is for the accused person to testify that section 138 will not apply because he has signed. Please remember the signatures. So when he admitted the signatures, he has got the duty to discharge the legally enforceable debt, or he has to say that the transaction does not come under legally enforceable debt. Without saying, basing on the technical flaw, you cannot acquit the accused. And please remember, body corporate, Supreme Court direct, body corporate is de jure complainant, whereas the MD or human agent is the de facto complainant. This much they have to understand. So, basing on the format, no doubt by mistake the format might have been by mistake typed. It doesn't vitiate the entire case. Now, the decision was also given by the Honorable Supreme Court stating that this man has to pay 3.20 lakhs. Of course, now it is since 16 years have passed, if they pay 1.60 lakhs itself is sufficient, and the imprisonment was given for 1 year. So 3.20 lakhs they have to be they have to pay, and 1 year they have to be in jail. If they want to go for appeal, they have to pay 1.60 lakhs. So this is the decision given by the Supreme Court. So please remember, basing on a mere technical flaw, one cannot acquit the case. This is the lesson to be drawn by the trial court and also the High Court. Of course, this is the opinion of the Supreme Court in this particular case. They may vary in other cases also. Very good judgment, particularly regarding the NI Act. So, please read the case and enrich your legal knowledge. Thank you very much.